Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Uh, Getting started a little bit late, well, actually a little bit early today. As you can see, the sun's still out, which normally I'm not able to get home in time from work, but I got done a little bit early. I am beat and relaxed and just really wanting to try to get warm. It is 8 degrees out today. It was down to 5 yesterday. I actually got home, got very lucky. Um, there was a window open down in my basement and the pipes started to freeze. So when I turned the water on when I got home, none was coming through. So I quickly got down there. Luckily, there was no real expansion. But if any of you are watching out, watch out for that sort of thing. So that is up and running. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the house today. A lot of you might not know this, or I always talk about I'm doing work on the house. I bought a very beat up house a couple of years ago, and I've been slowly working on it. Um, and there's very little limited insulation on the house. It's got old insulation. I'm slowly replacing that. So the cold is the cold is the cold. Luckily, the little one over there, I try not to say her name, or she's very happy with a golf ball right now. Um, she is perfectly fine in the cold, but I am not. So hence the comfy uh, head wrap here while the house tries to warm up, and I try to relax for a little bit. Um, so let's get into Eve. Today I am. Oh shoot! I have my big face on. I don't have Eve up. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm just staring at myself. Didn't need to see my ugly mug. Um, Long story short, today is I'm going to start. Remember how I've been saying I want to get things organized a little bit better, not only in Eve, but in my life. So I've been doing that in my life, and now I'm getting a little bit better organized in Eve. When you play the way I do, with the kind of the scavenger part timer play that I do, you tend to leave a lot of stuff all over the place. And I kind of came up with a plan of what I want to do to make things easier on myself going forward. And it revolves around each day just taking a little bit of time to clean up where I've left different things all over the Eve universe. But then the question comes, where do you want to put those things? Um, and I didn't want to start this right away. I've thought about it for a couple weeks, and while I don't want to get too intense on my pre-planning on different things because then it becomes a job and not a game, I also want to make it able to help me um, going forward, play more and not worry about things, and also maybe make a little bit of in-game money so I can buy bigger and better ships. One of the big things is I do a lot of exploration where I bring back a lot of salvage and stuff like that. Um, and I did a video a long time ago about how if you just take a little bit of time to build the rigs out of that salvage, you could really make a lot more ISK versus just selling the salvage right off the bat. Um, so what I thought I would start doing is getting that a little bit organized so I can make rigs that help me, but also make rigs that I can sell off that might be profitable. Maybe there is salvage that I'm not using at all for the ships that I'm wanting to fly, but I can use it to make some rigs to make some money that won't take any time. Now that is a long-term process. You have to buy the blueprints. You have to set. But if you set yourself up to at the beginning, it could be very lucrative, I think. So this is going to be an ongoing process. But I'll give you guys my kind of general plan. Um, you know that I like system of Dodixie. Let's see here if I can pull it up. Also, I'm getting. Here we go. Close that. Oh, I need to minimize some stuff here so that video goes a little bit better. So, my favorite, there's 4 major trade hubs, as most of you probably already know. You've got Jada, you've got Amar, you've got Dodixie, and you've got Renz, which is the Minmatar space. You've got some minor trade hubs that are out there. Examples would be like Stackman or Heck, or a couple of other ones that are out there where you can get some stuff. Um, But in general, if you want to take things to market, you want to take to one of those 4 sites, or you want to take you want to do some planning. If you are a manufacturing crazy person, you can make more money in areas away from the trade hubs, but you have to make sure that people want your stuff. So there's a difference. It's kind of like the difference between buying stuff at Costco. You know, you can buy and sell stuff there. Well, you can't sell stuff at Costco, but you can put it up for sale. But you're gonna be able to sell your stuff, but you're gonna get it. So you're definitely gonna get ISCA money off that. Um, but if you can, if you've, I'm sure all of us have been out in the boondocks driving around, and you pass a gas station and you just want to buy a candy bar, and it costs twice the amount. If you can sell that candy bar, boy, you can make some money. But you got to be able to sell that candy bar. That candy bar collects dust. So my goal right now is to set myself up near some slowly over time, over the next couple of months, set myself up in 4 stations near, not at the trade hubs, but near the trade hubs, where I can, as I do my exploration, come back, drop off the salvage, build the rigs, and then take those to market in a short period of time on days off like today, where I don't really feel like going crazy and playing. I can just move some stuff around while I'm watching YouTube. Or even paying bills. Actually, later on today, this is my bill paying day, so I am going to be moving some stuff around and paying bills, getting stuff done. So that being that, this is the map of Dodixie. There's 2 major things I'm looking for: a system that has a station, an NPC. I want it to be high sec, so I have a little bit of safety there. Um, and then I need the system to have a station that has both research and production in it. Um, and for it to not be at the major trade hub, but to be near it, maybe within 3 or 4 jumps of it. That way, uh, I'm not having to worry as much about being killed by pirates when I'm carrying in maybe some more expensive salvage and things like that, and I can plan that route in and out. I won't be carrying in a whole lot, if I go on an exploration mission, and I'm able, but maybe I get super lucky and I get like 100 million ISK run at it. I want to be able to not worry as crazy about getting there, because if you go to the trade hubs, they'll keep an eye out for you. So, how do I pick these? I know what I want. Now, where do I want to go to get there? And then, what do I use to get that stuff in and out? So, I know what I want. Where do I choose the system? My first system that I'm going to probably start using is the system of Offe right here. Now, why am I using an Offe? Because it's got research and it's got industry. And it is also 1, 2, 3 jumps from Dodixie. Um, there is one other reason why I'm using this. It's also on the route to another trade hub. And how do I know that? Well, I could do it within Dotland here, or I can do that within the game itself. And what I found was Offe is on the route from Dodixie over to Rennes. And then so that'll be kind of my waypoint going from one to the other. So if I want to check pricing or things like that, I can. Now, I'm not a manufacturing guy. I don't want to be a manufacturing guy. But if I can make a little bit more in-game money off of that without trying very hard, so I can go blow things up more often, that's what I'm going to do. So Offe is my first kind of try at this to see what I want to do. So what I'll end up doing is I'll buy some blueprints, drop them off there, most likely rig blueprints, and I'll focus on the rigs that I currently use first, because if I'm using them, probably other people are using them. And I'll research them here. I'll knock them down, so I don't have. I'll make a little bit more money off that. I can just let them go while I'm being researched, and then once they start coming out from the research area, I can start looking to see what salvage can go in there. The other bonus to this is I can make some blueprint copies from these and take them out on my excursions out to Aridia or out to Stain or even out to the Great Wildlands or Curse and just carry blueprint copies with me and not the full tilt blueprints. So, and if I focus on just 4 different systems, I can even time my research so that the I don't have to come to each one all the time. I could say 7 days from now, and I just have to drop by. And if they're semi near trade hubs, I could pick up stuff that I might want. So a lot of bonuses to this. It's a plan. Obviously, I'll probably tweak it over time, but that's what it is. Now, the other thing that I want to do is the painful part. As I'm flying around here, and this is something that you can do while you're sitting here. Luckily, I have my second monitor. On a day like today, where I'm limited in time and paying bills, I can pay the bills here. I also want to get something done in Eve, so I can move things around. And I am sure a lot of you are like this out there. Once you start accumulating things, you've got them all over the place. Look at how many different systems I have stuff in just for this one character. This is really kind of ridiculous. And you guys might have a lot more or a lot less, but I've just been dropping it because living as a scavenger, that's basically all I do. So what I can start doing is once I pick the 4 stations, while I'm taking a break from the game and just hanging out, watching some YouTube or some TV, I can move from station to station and slowly start bringing in some of this extra stuff to these stations. I'm still going to keep my home station, that sort of thing, out in Malna, and the spot that I have out with Amanda Rose Pilgrim out in Stain, and once I figure out a spot out in the Great Wildlands or Curse that I want to hang out in, I might do that. But a lot of this stuff is all over the place. I mean, I realized this the other day when I went over to Unertech. I've got a couple ships out here that I need to bring in. And this won't be a one-day thing. But it'll actually get me out and about and doing stuff. Here's the ironic part of it. While I'm going to all these different areas and all these different regions, I can check to see what rigs they have available that I can also pick up and bring back to research. So a lot of bonuses to this. The only other thing that I was going to go over here, a lot of you already probably know this, but what type of ship do you want to do this with? Well, if you're a beginning player and you've done the career missions, depending upon your faction that you start with, you'll have access to an industrial ship. And they'll give you a free one if you do those career missions. But each faction of the 4 major factions gives you a different style of industrial ship to move things with. And each one has a little bit of a positive and a negative. And I'll give you an example between them. My major one that I think almost every single player of Eve should skill up into at least level 1, and it takes 30 minutes, and you can just buy the skill for like 65,000 ISK, which is like a penny, is the Galente industrial ships. And I'll show you why for that. And a lot of you are already going, yep, he's right. He's 100% right. You can get the other industrial ships. They have their little bonuses. But the Galente industrial ships of the basic level, and all you got to do is spend 30 minutes to let it just sit there and get the skill in, have major bonuses, and I'll show you why. The basic transport ships that they give you for free are very good, actually, especially for what I'm trying to do. And I'll show you the example. I'll pull up 2 different ships and show you why I like them. And then I'll show you why the Galente side will give you that little bit of a next level that works with almost all players that are out there. And this is basic stuff. If you already know it, whatever. But this is why I say Galente. So let's jump into the ships. We'll go into the ship browser. And come on. Hello. There we go. So down here below. Now I'm in a Mar right here. Okay. Your basic haulers are down at the bottom. Now a Mar has two basic haulers. You have the Seagull and I'm sorry, the Bestower and the Seagull. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember which one of these they give you for free. Hello. Hello there. Did you poo? She was just outside. Good job. Good job. Can you say hi to everybody? Yeah, I know. All right. Off you go. Good girl. It's getting better. She's going to prove me wrong here in a second. She's looking to jump on me. Okay. Good. All right. I ran her a ton today. We played fetch for... I'm so sorry. Okay, off you go. Nope. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Good girl. Okay. So back to the game, and then I'll go play with my pooch. Maybe we'll have to run this a little bit shorter than normal. She was missing me today. So, long story short, you get when you do the career missions, you get a couple of free ships if you do the industrial side. And I can't remember with the Amar which one of these two you get now, but I'm going to use the. I want to say they give you the Bestower, but we'll use the Sigil as an example. And what you want to look for, and I'm not going to dig super deep into all the specialties of these, but with the Sigil, if you notice the special bonuses per skill level, you get ship cargo capacity 5% more per level you have, which is alright, but you also get your inertial modifier 5% faster, which is really good because it helps your ship to turn and fly faster. When you're hauling things, time is of the essence. Time is money. So you get from point A to point B a little bit faster. A lot of people think your speed is important with that, and it is. Your warp speed is important for that. But your time to turn and go with bigger ships, especially hauling ships, is very important. Think of like a box truck on the highway versus a tractor trailer or a train. Each one of them takes longer to get up and moving, but they all drive at the same speed once they get going. So a box truck is boop, 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 gone, or a van, versus a tractor trailer could take a little while to get up and going. It's on the same highway doing the same speed, whereas a train, you got to load those things up, and they take a while to get going, that sort of thing. I'm using way too long of an analogy on this. So you get these for free in the career agents. Try them out. And this is your basic one that you get. Now, when I say get skill level 1, if you start off as Galente, you've got that. You'll always have skill level 1. I am a Caldari character, even though I don't fly any Caldari ships, but they gave me industrial level Caldari 1. So let's look at the Caldari real quick, and then I'll show you the, after I get done with that, I'll show you the Galente. So the Caldari have the Tyra and the Badger. Now I know for a fact that the Badger is the one that they give you for free there in the career missions. And again, it has the ship cargo capacity and it has the inertial modifier, so you can turn and go. Biggest thing here is that these are just basic industrial ships that you can load up with things and carry things with you. I might do a video later on comparing these, but don't worry about that so much. This is I love the Badger just for its look. Let's just show it. It's just it looks like a spaceship. Let's be honest. There we go. I don't know why I like it so much. And it's got a great name. It's called the Badger. There it is. It's just a great looking ship. I don't know why. I think it comes from my old liking of the World War II. I used to be a huge World War II ship fanatic, and this just reminds me of the Caldari. Really remind me of those sort of ships that are out there. Um, so I could fly this, and I still can if I can buy one. But the one, and this is very similar to, I think it was the Bestower earlier, because it has the same bonuses. I'm sure there's different little parts to it that are there, maybe, as far as its regular stats, as far as its slots or its capacity, but we're not going to get into that today. What I wanted to show you, and just briefly, is the major difference between them and why you want to go with the Galente, and just get that one level of it just to get started. So we're going to pull up the Galente here, and we're going to zoom in. There we go. These are all the freaking tons and tons of ships. So you notice there were only two for the Amar and the Minmatar. The Galente give you the option for 3 different types of ships. Now I'm pretty sure the Minmatar give you 4. I'm sorry, the Minmatar give you 3. The Galente give you an option for 5. Now the ship that you're going to get for free in the career missions is the Nurus. I love the Nurus. The Nurus is very similar to the Badger. It's very similar to whatever the Bestower or the other one that was there for the Amar. Each one of them has a basic ship that does what it is. Again, cargo capacity. Again, inertial modifier. You can make your cargo bigger and you get going faster. Again, not going to get into the fits and things, but I really like the Nurus. But the part about the Galente is the Cryos is their second ship. It's a normal hauler. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it isn't. It has specifics that it has an extra ability to carry things with it. So if you notice, the Nurus gives you those 2 little bonuses there. The Cryos allows you to has a mineral hold that's larger. So you can put minerals into it. You can carry minerals with you. So if you have to carry those around with you. It's got an ice hold that you can carry those around with. And it's got a high velocity. So it can carry a lot more without any upgrades than the Nurus of specifically minerals or ice. So if you are a miner, or let's say you're like me, who has been living in an area and has been chopping down ships and breaking them down into their minerals so I can build other ships. If I need to move some of those out, I can use a Cryos instead of the regular ship, the Nurus. The Epithal, if you've got planets that use planetary commodities and you're doing that planetary interaction, I might be doing that down the road, especially maybe out to get some extra IS so I can buy some better ships. The Epithal, you'll see them out there, especially in Nullsec and things like that, carrying stuff along. Then you've got the Miasmos. It, if I'm not mistaken, carries raw materials, so it gives you a big bonus there. And if you want to check them out, it gives you the size of the ore holds, that sort of thing. Off. Good girl. And then the last one, and I try to stay a little bit away from the Iteron. I like it. I used it a lot when I used to play, but the Iteron just screams blow me up, because it can actually, when it is given enough fittings to it, whether they be cargo hold optimizations, things like that, it can have the largest basic hold for anything. But when you do that, you lower your armor. A lot of times you may even lower your speed. You notice there is no turning or agility bonus here. So it's going to be one of your slower ships that might be able to move. You can't. So it screams, hey, I'm a noob, and I figured out a way to carry a bunch of stuff in here. Blow me up so you can have that stuff. So I try to stay away from the Iteron unless I have to use it. It is a very useful ship, but it just screams that sort of thing, so I try not to use that. I really like the Nurus, just for the fact that it's a free ship that you get from the beginning. but it's a pretty quick little ship. And if I'm just using it to just haul some stuff around, it can be a little beefy ship. And if you throw some rigs on there, you can really carry some stuff quickly across the area. Now, there's definitely, and then once you get this down, you can move on to the upgraded transport ships. I'm not going to get into those here, but if you notice, there's a huge difference in price. You've got 1,000 for the nearest, and then you've got the upgraded the Akator and the Viator, 110 million. These are your DSTs and your blockade runners. At some point, I love the idea of a blockade runner. I love the idea of role playing, taking parts in and out of areas for war zones to make money. Um, and I think is that the, yeah, that's the Viator because it can do the cloak as well. So that might be something down the road I skill into. I remember 10 years ago, I really wanted to fly that so much, and I think I just got away from it whenever I quit playing. But, well, that's about it. Just a really brief idea of what my plan is going forward, how I do my off time when I have to pay my bills and do some cleaning around the house, stuff like that. And if I come up with any other systems that I like that I might drop some stuff off at, I'll let you know. But current plan is that so that I can make more time to be out in space and blowing stuff up. That's about it. I hope you guys are about to have or having a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks so much for watching. And I'm going to catch up on my comments too here in a little bit. So appreciate that. I got some today at lunch at work. There's one fellow, I feel so bad. I missed his. He wrote a bunch of comments about 7 days ago, and I read them, but I got so busy with work in real life that I didn't reply. So I replied to one of his today, but I want to go through each one because he put some great information in there. So please feel free if you want to go back and look at those. And please, a lot of the guys who watch these now, it's kind of grown. They actually put out, I know I try to talk about some boring stuff on here, some basic stuff, but a lot of the comments out there actually point out better information than what I put in these videos. So please feel free to read the comments or drop anything that you like, or you can join us in the Five Bones channel right here. That is the in-game channel, Five Bones, or the Discord, which is in the Discord channel. It's in the description of the video. All right, that's all I got for today. I'm going to go have some fun and make some dinner and relax. The sun's about to go down, so fly safe, fly dangerously, fly higher like you want, and I will talk to you soon. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.